Welcome, Larry Emdur. I can't believe you're even doing my podcast. Why are you here?
Well, $10,000 appearance fee. I'll do anything for you.
Oh my gosh, producer's here. I'm sure he's gonna laugh the entire time because he loves you and he thinks that you're hysterical. I didn't actually know you were as candid and charming, and I read your book Happy As, which is genius because it's happy as Larry.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're like, you got it, good girl, 10 points. You're really fun and funny and interesting. I'm not saying
when
that
you say, so can we just back up? Have we started this shit? Is this already
the
happening?
shit show is already the
Is this
shit
already
show.
happening?
It's happening.
So we're like 10 seconds in, and you're going, I thought you were this boring old dude
yes,
already.
I did. I didn't think you were a boring old dude. But to be honest with you, the only interactions I've ever had is you going, so tell me about Tammin Sursock. Welcome, Tammin Sursock, and tell me about Home and Away, and tell me about your podcast, and tell me what's going on in your life.
I know you're supposed to be
kids.
asking the questions. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is that how I really talk?
No.
It sounded like I had 5 testicles the way you said it.
Do you? Do you have 5 testicles? I don't know. You would have put in your book if you did.
It's my next book.
Yes.
Yeah, Testicle As. It's my next book.
It's just about your testicles. I'm really sorry that I have you here now talking about your testicles. But no, I've always thought of you as like, not that I don't look up to you now, but like as a kid, I was like, you were the dude, you were the man, you were like, it's like this it's like the show that everyone wants to get on. So I had to like think of you as this, like, you got your shit together.
And how upset are you now that you've found the real me
Yeah.
and just go, I've never been more disappointed with anything in my life.
I read your book and I was like, interesting. Like, this is so great. So your persona is obviously not your persona in real life. So how do you keep it together? Like being like on the show and talking about things like, infomercials and it's news.
It's tough, right? It's tough. And I think it comes into what you know, which is the character stuff. Mm-hmm. And well, I always try and be me. I think that's key to what I've been over 40 years now. And I've always tried just to be me. I think that's important. But yeah, when you're reporting on news and when you're reading the important stories of the day, I can't be doing the dick jokes at that point.
Yes. Can you even say the word dick off camera?
I'll get to them later in the show. No, not off camera. Well, there's no off camera anymore.
Oh, gotcha.
Everything's recorded. Everything's going the whole time.
Yeah.
So if you're going to say dick, you've really got to commit.
Yeah.
You got to go, okay, I'm prepared to be cancelled now because I'm about to say dick on an open mic.
But Aussies are so open that I think that dick's like saying hello these days, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. When was the last time you went up to someone in the street and said dick?
Or like,
why don't you? Let's go into the street now and you test that hello theory.
No, it's different between saying like show your dick and like don't be a dick. Right? This is totally different. This is totally look at your face.
Look at you trying to backpedal out
Yeah,
of this.
I'm like, no. But I would never do the first probably on the street.
No. You're not going to go up to someone in Westfield and go, instead of saying hello, you're not just going to go, dick.
Yeah.
Unless the name's Richard, then you're okay.
Yeah. But I think you can say, like, don't be a dick.
When you first meet someone?
I don't know.
Do you have any friends? Like, do you have any friends?
I have no friends.
Because they're all so upset with you for calling them a dick.
I actually said to my mom the other day, I was like, I don't think I have many friends. I think it's because I work so much.
I'll be your friend.
I don't know.
No,
this is going to go down well.
Does dick mean the same in America? Like if you went up to someone.
But the C word here people say a lot, and you can't say that in America. Like if you said that, I would totally be canceled. Like that would be, and it would be a really hard way to go out too. It's like that's how I would get canceled.
Yeah, and that's what people would remember you for.
Yeah. And I would like not want to go out on that. But I want to go back to your book, and I actually wrote down some of these chapters because the people who haven't read your book, and I have. How many interviews have you done with people who've actually read the book?
Well, heaps.
It's so
lots
good.
And lots. Thank you.
You're on Goodreads. Goodreads, you know what that is?
No,
and you're
I don't
like a 4.7 star.
What's it out of?
10.
28? Yeah. Great. Well, go me.
You have 4.7 star on 32.
Good. I'm so good. Yeah.
It's out of 5, and no one ever gets a 5.
Right.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I know there's not like a lot of reviews, but there's a lot enough for you to have like a Goodreads profile.
Okay.
It's a really great book. It's called Happy As Larry, but you don't say the Larry part. It's called Happy As. And there are chapters like Paul Hogan Makes Me Spew, which I loved, Hairy Nipples and Your Majesty. So I got a book deal and I'm writing a book. Now, was it a grueling process or do you feel like it was actually something that was pretty enjoyable?
I really liked the process. I did it in a month. I wrote it in a month. I got up every morning at 4 o'clock. It was over Christmas. And we got a little shed up the river. And I sat on the balcony at 4 o'clock every morning with a coffee. And I just wrote crazy every morning till about 10 o'clock. Yeah. And I go and jump in the river, wake up, and then come back and start again. So I actually enjoyed the process.
Okay.
I didn't enjoy that because I got kicked out of school very early, which you got in the book as well.
I know.
I was lacking in the English department.
Right.
So
you became what you became in your job, and you not great at English.
Yeah. But when I was writing the book, I was like, I don't know where those little wiggly comrie things go, and the apostrophe is the dumbest thing in the world. Yeah. So I got all caught up on this in the first week, and things would take me a long time because I'd Google like how to write this sentence, and then I gave up on that, and the editors were like, don't do that, don't worry about that, we'll do that.
Okay.
So once they opened that door, I was just like, story, and I loved it.
And it's amazing that you can remember that far back, because I can't remember that. Like, I can't remember when I was 7.
Yeah.
No, maybe I blocked it out from all the trauma I've had. No, just kidding. Right. This awful experience. But you were going like way back to like how you were brought up and about your dad, and like, you have 2 other siblings who are all in the same room, the 3 of you. Yeah. And like, I don't remember any of that.
So would you, if you went and got a box of old photos, I went and got boxes of old photos from Mum's place.
Interesting.
And I'd look at that and go, I remember that. I remember getting on that mini bike. I remember sitting on the beach and having a pizza. I remember the first surfboard. There was a picture of me with this Kentucky Fried Chicken surfboard. And I remember the pain of my bleeding nipples.
Yes, well, you go into that in detail.
Yeah. But it was a good story, right?
It was a great story. And I got sandpaper out, and I sandpapered my nipples so I could actually have the full experience.
Thank you. I wanted the first censor-round book. Thank you for feeling that.
Yeah.
So I found that as I looked over these photos, that it all kind of came flooding back. But if you asked me away from the book, if I remembered that thing, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, and I do think that, I mean, you've had some pretty defining memories. I mean, there's one chapter, which was actually my favorite one, which was about young man, get your hand off my balls, which actually was one of my favorite chapters, because I just like to say the word. I just like balls in general. Like, to say the word ball, you're like, look at your face. Balls.
How long have we been going? We've 6 minutes in. We've covered dicks and balls.
Look, I think balls are underrated. I think they're great. I think they're just...
What is it about balls that you like the most?
The people don't spend enough time... Like, we don't talk about them enough. We don't, like, spend enough time. Men just, like... They just, like, oh, don't worry about those things. Like, I don't know. I just think that they're great. They also hold life. Do you know what I mean? Like, my children wouldn't be there without balls.
Well, that's what I said at my son's 21st birthday party. Yeah. Many years ago, I got up at the speech and he said, Dad, please don't say anything embarrassing. I went, okay, I won't. But I stood up in front of all his friends. I said, Jai, I can't believe that 21 years ago you were swimming around in my balls. And I thought that was it was almost biblical.
It was, right?
And the way I said it then to you now, you're like,
I was like,
wow, Larry, you're a biblical guy.
Yeah, you're just, it's God, like, coming through you right now.
So if you love them so much, maybe you should be doing a podcast about balls.
About balls. But the chapter was not about balls. It was about you stealing balls.
Stealing golf balls. And
golf balls.
Can we say golf balls?
Sorry.
I'm not running through the testicular ward at hospital stealing people's balls.
No, you're stealing, minor little thing that we needed to add to that. Golf balls.
Golf balls.
You used to steal golf balls.
Golf balls.
Why?
Because we'd make some money. We'd make $5 a bucket. And then with that $5, I could go and play the pinball machines and buy ice creams and do all that. So we'd sort of hang around the bushes. And this sounds creepy now. Mm-hmm. If I said I hang around the bushes,
I wouldn't put it past you. We're
like my ankle bracelet's going beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, I was like, I was right there. I was just coming for the podcast. Why is Larry in the bushes?
You thought you'd seen me somewhere before, right?
No, I was like, who is that guy?
We're hanging there at the bushes at the side of the golf course, me and my best mate, Robbie. And as the balls would fly by, we'd grab them and steal them. Then the golfers would come up and they wouldn't be able to find their balls.
Right.
So, and this is how I became such an enterprising young man.
So at some point, did you feel bad about it?
No.
Never?
I was young.
Right.
It was pre, I didn't even have that sense of feeling bad. Now, if I took a man's balls and unsold them,
and you sold them for $5,
I would feel terrible.
But did that stealing, like, when did the stealing stop? Like, so did it, like, keep going where you're like, okay, so I stole some balls and I made some money. I could just, like, steal...
Cars.
Yeah. I could just steal someone's computer.
Yeah.
There's a lot more money in that.
I was really good at that.
Yeah.
But see, if you're stealing someone's computer...
Yeah.
If I go back to my bush hiding scenario... then that means I have to sit out in the bush outside their house to see when they're going to steal a computer. And I think that's wrong at my age.
Yeah.
I think a 60-year-old bald man with beady eyes popping up behind your hedge going...
But they'd be like, it's Larry from the...
Yeah, come in.
You know, yeah, come
Help
in.
yourself.
Do you need anything? Yeah, do you want me to make you a sandwich?
Take anything from the top shelf, Larry. You've given enough to this country.
Would you like some golf balls? You know what I mean? But you say that you're 60, which I don't believe. Like, I don't understand it because you do look really good. And that's not like... I do think you... So why do you look
me up and down when you said that?
Why do you... I don't have my glasses on. Wait a second. Wait, now I can really see the wrinkles. Why do you look so good? Do you think it's because you like look at your face? Is it because you like love your life? Is it because you surf? Is it because you take care of yourself? Like you don't look like you're 59.
Thank you. I'm happy. I think I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I've got a beautiful family who I love.
Yeah.
I think they love me generally.
Yeah.
I've got 2 awesome jobs that I love.
Yeah.
I've just come now from the morning show and I love it. Every day is funny and fun and
Did you talk about this type of stuff on the morning show?
Off camera.
Off camera.
And the chase I love, and they're both going well. They're rating well. Thanks everyone who's having a look at that.
Yeah.
The book's just gone to on the bestseller list. You've just told me I got
4.7
out of 90.
Yeah.
So I think if I ever thought where I'd be at 60, it's not here.
Yeah.
It's not doing these fun things and still enjoying
Yeah.
stuff to such a degree. So maybe that comes out of my pores. I don't know.
Maybe it's because you peaked later. Because hear me out. Because I think I peaked at like 16, right?
Right.
So you kind of spend the rest of your life trying to chase the success or fame, even though you don't know it's fame, or the sexiness or whatever the world kind of made you into.
Yeah.
And then I've had a lot of career moments where I've fallen back into it, and I was on a TV show in America, which was really successful.
Sure.
But I always feel like I'm clamoring to go back because I never had high school. Like I was on set. I was, with Richard Branson on his private jet, like,
So
at 18 years. Like it was just a
Yeah.
very intense life very early. And so I think maybe it was that you peaked later on, or that you maybe didn't have as many expectations, right?
I've been on so many shit shows. I'm the most axed guy.
Except the shit show.
Yeah. I'm the most axed guy on TV. So,
are you really?
Yeah. I've been on more shows. I've been axed for more shows than anyone else in TV. And
What?
Yeah. But I'm still...
Axed, so fired.
Fired. Show's been canned.
Show's been canned, or you been fired?
But both.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I guess that keeps my expectations quite low. But when I started out, I was a reporter, and the news didn't really agree with me because I was this smiley, happy kid, and doing hard news stories wasn't where I was at. It wasn't. I couldn't sell it.
Yeah.
So I'd end up doing the light stories at the end of the news, and then I went into entertainment from that, reporting. So I was interviewing people like you, and you're a great one, but there are a lot of assholes there too.
Of course.
So I remember looking at these people who had achieved a level of a star status, if you like, who were on the cover of all the magazines and winning Logies. Yeah. And I remember interviewing many of them, going, asshole.
Yeah.
And
why? Why
so
them?
I think maybe as I clawed my way up to being someone who could go to the Logies and was in magazines, that I thought, I was mindful of the people I didn't want to be like.
Yeah.
I think. But then I went into a series of Price is Right. Main Event was great. Yeah. Price is Right was great. But then a whole series of horrible shows.
Like which one, Larry? Does it include a dog?
Yeah, Celebrity Dog School.
Celebrity Dog School.
So the story with Celebrity Dog School is they said, do you want to do this Celebrity Dog School thing? And I came home to my wife and I said, so I was doing some radio at the time, and I said, Sylvia, they want me to do this Celebrity Dog School, and I'm not going to do it. Yeah. And she said, well, you know what? I really want a new kitchen, so I think you are going to do it.
How much did they pay you for that?
I'm not going to.
Oh my God, we are talking about everything. You put everything in your book, so don't bullshit me. You told me things that I never even thought that would come out of your mouth. How much did they pay you for Celebrity Dog Show?
I can't remember.
Oh, come on. Give me a bracket.
Oh, look.
Just give me a bracket.
Probably the going rate then for a show might have been $3,000 or $4,000 a show or something.
Okay.
So.
And how many years ago?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. So that's probably $30,000 a show now.
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly.
Okay.
So, but I went from all these things to go in and out, and some of my contracts went for a week, went for 2 shows. Ugh. So this builds resilience, I think. So I get to this point in life where I thought I'd never be doing this age 60, doing 2 shows.
Yeah.
Writing
Getting
a book.
paid more than $3,000 a show.
So so I think that I'm happy. I'm happy as, and I think I would never have thought at this point, because each time you get axed in TV, you think, That's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
And I've been so fortunate to go from 7 to 9 to 10 to back to 9 to 7 to all this,
Do you ever feel, is there one show that was like a really, that got axed or you got axed that was like a heartbreaker?
Well, Price is Right meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to a lot of people, and it was something that I felt really, really close to, and for a whole lot of reasons. It was just it was stupid fun, but it was really popular, and I was really attached to it, and it kind of set me up for life, really. So when that finished up, while I understood it, because it's a numbers game, I understand the ratings, and, that was like, okay, I'm never going to do anything like that again, and that's true. I haven't.
Yeah.
But people still talk to me about that today. Like every day, someone will say, "Come on down, you wanker," or something.
Your dick.
Your dick. Or in the supermarkets, like, "Put these in order from least expensive to most." So it was an important part of my life, and you can tell over generations, it's meant a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah, and like your wife, is she cool with, like, it's my life and my job and my husband's job is always, we never know. I mean, now kind of, they're probably not going to axe you, right? Right?
I think we're okay for now. It depends what I say now. If I say shit, dick, balls too many times, they probably
come on. Say it one more time. Let's just get on the ledge of like maybe being fired. Does she ever feel like it takes a certain type of woman to be a partner to someone who is in this business, who is, getting axed, getting fired? You don't really know. You buy a house, like, can you pay all your bills? And I don't do well with not having stability, yet that's what my therapist says I'm very comfortable in. But yet I feel very uncomfortable at the same time. How does she sort of navigate that whole thing? And do you get like in fights over it?
No. I was
She
doing
seems
this.
like a lovely lady.
She's a doll, and she's my rock, absolute rock. And I couldn't have done this without her. Actually, all of it. But she's been through a lot with me too. And there've been embarrassing shows. There've been horrible shows. There've been terrible headlines. There've been terrible social media campaigns. Now there's a lot going on that she has to, she has to deal with as well. So hats off to her. She's done that. There's been some really, I don't want to say mistakes, because it's all led to here.
Right.
So if I didn't do Celebrity Dog School and it got axed when it did, then I wouldn't have gone to Channel 9 to do something else that got axed when it did. So I got to Channel 7, and now I'm here with the top rating morning show and the top rating afternoon show. So all of them I look back at and go, it was all a step to now.
Right.
So I've come to terms with it.
Right.
But along the way, there's definitely been stuff where Sylvia and I have sat down and go, oh dear.
Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you don't, like, we humans don't, maybe you did, but I don't know if I'm enjoying the full journey. But when I get there, I'm like, great, I'm so happy to be here. But it's really the faults and the failures that happen along the way that are the best bits.
We're lucky, you and I.
Yeah.
Because we're still sitting here.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know. This show could bomb.
No.
Yeah. Say something that we can put out, right? Dogs,
shit,
balls, shit balls, shit balls. Wanker.
Because so what did you call me?
Wanker. No, I didn't call you. Oh my God. Tammin calls
looking
Larry
straight.
Wanker. I've said wanker so many more times in the last week being in Australia than I've ever said in my life. Wanker. It just sounds like a great word.
It's just the way you look at me when you say it. It's like you
Wanker.
really mean it. Yeah, like throwing it, stabbing me in the heart.
Wanker seems way better than dick.
Yes.
You know
and you don't want to hear those two words in a sentence.
Wanker. No, you don't.
Stop.
Now you're canceled.
You just got canceled.
Listen, that's just so passé. Like, who cares about sex anymore? Like, when you get to a certain age, you're just like, just lay on top of me, whatever, get this over with,
Okay, can we just back this up a little bit?
I'm not actually like that. I'm a very sexual person. Like, I would love to have sex once a day. But
was your husband so bad?
Once a week is good. So maybe
he says that.
Yeah. No, I'm probably going to throw him under the bus and I have to ask him if I can say this. He's working so much and he's exhausted. And for women, it's so much easier to have sex. Like, we don't have to do anything, really. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit of a, like, we can just be like, yay. But, like, they, men have to.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure, Larry.
When you say we can just go,
we don't talk about this in the morning, do we?
When you say we can just say yay.
Yes. Or
Is
like
that-
woohoo, like whatever.
Right.
Choose a word.
Why don't you
Any
just choose
word.
another word? See if your husband finds
This
that
is
more
great.
attractive.
You're amazing. Oh
You're
my
amazing.
goodness.
Go with
Never
that.
before.
Yeah.
You're the only one. No, I just think for women it's so easy to like say I want sex every day, right? For a man, like you know, it's exhausting, and men get older and they're tired, and like they might have eaten a pasta, like you know what I mean? Like I don't know, you've never had that problem, but you know, it's just
I'm just happy listening to you.
Yeah. No, you're like you can dig your own grave.
Yeah.
No, I like sex for connection. To me, I think it's more than the physical act of it. And we have 2 kids. It's not like this, you know, it's not like a full half a movie. It's like an ad break, if that. Like it's an ad, you know? Like it's not, you know, because the children.
Do you think your husband's going to listen to this?
Yeah, he knows all this. It's like, you know, it's what I want too, because we don't want, who has time to kiss and like do that whole
But isn't
thing?
that I'm sorry. Is that not the best bit?
When you're 60, you don't have 2 small children. You don't have a 5-year-old who's like, you know, knocking at the door, you know?
But you also have a pause button on the TV, so you don't have to do it quickly. The commercial's nearly over.
Commercial break. You're like, it's not the 90s.
The morning show's nearly back.
70s.
Quickly.
Like, you can just pause the TV. Oh
Quick,
my
there's
gosh.
a vacuum commercial on the morning show. Quick, let's have sex.
Let me, like, it's a chapter of your, like, let me be honest. My husband is amazing. Adore him 18 years in. I feel like sex is something like go to the gym, have sex, eat breakfast. Because
you have sex at the breakfast.
I have sex
at the gym?
during breakfast at the gym. No, I would get canceled. No, but I just feel like when you're in this time of your life, which you have to now think about the time of your life when you're in your late 30s or like just had small children, you have like lots of kids, and the pressure of everything, of finances and career and small children, and you're also trying to continue to fall in love again and try to feel that connection. It becomes something that you need to do as part of the day. Less so than it used to be in the beginning of a relationship, and probably where you are now, which is more, you have probably more time. You have the kids out of the house.
But don't you think it's more important than all of those things combined? Yes, there's the mortgage. Yes, there's the kids. Yes, there's the taxes. Yes, there's
it's hard to get that out of your head.
It's hard to get out of your head.
Do you know what I mean?
But I would think that's the most
important time. The mortgage broker's name.
No,
like,
by accident.
I'm like, Kimberly Morris. I'm like, what?
But that's the important time to keep that connection, I reckon.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
So do you think that your relationship has lasted so long because you have a good sexual connection?
Yes. Well, no. There's many reasons our relationship
right,
has
but
been
one
strong.
of them.
One of them for sure.
Yeah, and it's important in
and
marriages.
It's really important. And I think it's important in what we do, because you and I live in this synthetic kind of world that's full of falsities and fakeness and vagaries and everything. So if all we have at the end of the day is actually for me to be able to kiss my wife and hold my wife close.
Right,
Intimacy, then that's really important to me.
Yeah.
Like that's probably one of the most important things in my life.
Yeah, I think
because everything else comes and goes during the day.
Yeah, I think that women, I don't know, maybe men too. For me, I have to be in a vulnerable place to have sex. So I agree. Like it's the most connected that I feel to my partner during sex. But sometimes like I find it hard to like let those walls down sometimes. As much as like I want to be connected and I want to have sex daily, like I say, it's difficult for me to go, oh my goodness, this is the most vulnerable I am right now.
Do you have to? I feel weird that I'm holding a sex therapy session.
Sorry, we're going to move on.
But I do expect some sort of residual payment from your husband.
Exactly.
for getting this shit going.
Yeah. I get it.
I know. You got to work at it. Hey, you got to find time, and life's busy. Yeah. But I've found over the years it's like one of the most important things.
Yeah. So I won't. Yeah. Well, this was your fault because you said you led us into this. You said,
no,
don't call me a dick and don't call me a wanker, and definitely don't use those terms together. I think it was you.
That's such a passive aggressive. That's a terrible
interview
technique to blame me for everything.
Oh my God.
You want to talk about sex and then next minute I'm cancelled.
No, you're not cancelled. But you met your wife she was an air hostess, right?
Yes.
Which is amazing. Can you tell me how that story went down?
Sure.
Yeah.
There's 2 different versions.
Yes.
Mine.
Yes.
The right one.
Yeah.
And then Sylvie's fluffy made up version that makes me look like a predator.
You're like, she's being passive aggressive, see?
That's right.
Trying to get you cancelled.
So how long we got?
We've got all.
I was on a Qantas flight to Melbourne. I was hosting a show called Tonight Live with Steve Izard that you'd be familiar with. And it was a Tonight Show many, many years ago, and I'd hosted every now and again. And I was flying down in the afternoon, and it was a pouring rain, really bad storms. And I went to Qantas, and they'd cancelled the flight because of the storms. And the lady said, look, you maybe run over to Ansett. They might have a flight going. So I ran over, and there was no undercover in those days. So I ran across the car park. And soaking wet, top to bottom, soaking wet. Yeah. I got on this Ansett flight and I sat down. I don't want to brag, but it was business class. Yeah, I was famous then. And I sat down
Still fly
and
business.
I was so, like, I had hair and I was just dripping shaggy dog, wet jacket was wet, jeans were wet, everything. And this beautiful girl comes out of the galley, most beautiful girl I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
I think she was walking in slow motion. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And she
with music behind her.
Yeah.
And lights.
Yeah. And she walked up and said to me, "You look horrible."
No way.
And I thought, she's trying to pick me up.
Of course, men. Yep.
Because I'm looking at myself going, well, I'm adorable.
Yeah. I'm in business class.
I'm in business class. I'm soaking wet.
Yeah.
So we chatted, we laughed a little bit, as between the chicken and the fish and the coffee and the tea service.
Yeah.
And then when we were getting off the plane, I'd written a little note saying my number, my mobile number, and my mum's number.
Yeah.
And as we were getting off the plane, she'd left at 4 because she was catching it. This is to Melbourne. She's catching a connecting flight to Brisbane.
Yeah.
So she was moving quite quickly. And then on the moving walkway, moving ahead, I could see people moving off to the left and right. And she was kneeling down at the end of the moving walkway. It's a trap. Is that not a trap?
No.
It's a total trap.
Why was she kneeling?
Because she was getting something out of her bag. I'm like, why wouldn't you kneel over there, the other part of the airport where no one's walking? You've trapped me.
Yeah.
So she stood up, found it just coincidentally as I arrived.
Coincidentally.
So I'm like, hey. I wrote you this bit of paper. Hey. And I gave her a bit of paper with my mum's number, and she thought that was really cute.
That is cute.
She said, we're now walking along. And she goes, I'll never call you. Here's my mum's number. If you get past my mum, you can take me for coffee.
That's cute.
Yeah. So I called next morning, 7 o'clock in the morning.
The mum?
But she answered. Sylvie answered.
So it wasn't her mum's number?
It was her mum's number, but she answered the
She
phone.
was ready for you.
Yeah. And that was it. We spoke for maybe 6 weeks on the phone before we met again.
Wow.
And that was it. Then I trapped her.
Then you trapped her. In your book, you say that your first kiss was awful. Like you were like a
she was
echidna. Like you just didn't know.
Yes. That wasn't with Sylvie. That was at school.
No, I know.
That was spin the bottle.
I know,
yeah,
but like your tongue was darting in and out like an echidna. My first kiss, I actually got my braces cut, like stuck to his braces. I'm not shitting you.
Oh no!
And then my mom had to like undo them.
No,
it was all. And I was watching Scream. Do you remember Scream?
How old was he?
Oh, that was when they were like normally the same age. When you're like 16, normally. But when I
So
got to 17,
you were having a passionate kiss.
Yeah, maybe 15.
And your braces are locked.
Yes.
Did he? Because he would have been quite excited about that, I imagine.
I guess so. I don't know. Like it was just, when you're young and it's so feverish and you don't even know, like, well, I can only speak from a woman's perspective. I was like, I don't even know if he likes me. And then he went in for the kiss. So I'm like, does he really even want to do this? And then when he got the braces caught, I'm like, he definitely doesn't want to do this. And then I had to call my mom because I couldn't call my dad. My dad would have lost his mind.
Well, your dad would have got the Ryobi chainsaw out of it.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I remember my first real boyfriend. I was 17. He was 29, almost 30. I know. I think back on it now, and I think that wasn't cool. Like, in the time, now I understand my dad's perspective.
How did that even happen? Where did that even happen?
He was a music producer. So, like, and I was on a TV show.
Classic.
I was on a TV show. And because I was also around much older men, and I was doing much older things.
Yes.
And I was going to dinners with, like, the prime minister at the time, like, you know what I mean? Like, just the two of us. No, I was like,
I was going to say, you didn't get your braces locked yet.
And we got our braces. And I was like, we got braces. No, but like I was doing such adult things that I probably then thought of myself as an adult.
Sure.
And here, 16, it's okay to go out with whoever you want. In America, it's 18. But I look back at it and I go, I get it. How would you feel if one of your kids was dating someone that much older?
But I get what you're saying, that you're living in an adult world.
Right.
I get that. Your parents probably didn't get it.
They didn't. My dad, I had to communicate through letters for a minute.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
how long did that last, that relationship?
I lost my virginity to him. First time I've ever said it on the shit show with you, Larry. And
you were 17?
18. It was on my 18th birthday.
Oh, bless.
On my parents' stairs.
Where?
On my parents' stairs. On my parents'
Were your parents there?
No, they were not there.
Why did you choose this? No, I feel creepy talking about this. I'm not even going to.
Why did I choose the stairs? Because I don't know. It
was that moment.
It was just the moment, and I was 18, but I look back at it and I just think, I don't know. Like I have 2 kids, 2 daughters, right? And I just want them to make good decisions, and I don't know if that was the best decision. I don't know if I regret it, but I just didn't know.
Did you have a relationship after that?
Yeah. Until I met a Swans player, and the rest.
I don't want to know.
History. The rest was history.
I wish this was my podcast because I got so many questions for you.
You can't ask anything.
No.
Oh no, you're not allowed to.
No, I just don't want to know. So the 29-year-old guy.
I want to be on your podcast. The 29-year-old guy.
He'd be like dead now, wouldn't he?
He's like 60.
Hey, I'm.
No, I'm just kidding. He's not 60. He's probably he's 40. He's 40s. Some like. Oh God. So old.
Okay, I feel better now. Yeah. Okay.
But you remember your first like love, intimacy like that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Was it awful?
No.
I
don't remember being.
And why can you say more on your podcast than mine?
Because I can ask you questions.
Because you can control it. Yeah.
No, I remember it being special. It
Yeah.
was someone I cared about deeply, and we were great friends. And it was.
Yeah.
It was. It wasn't on my parents' stairs.
Yeah.
I think I was a classier guy than than the guy we'll now call stair guy.
Yeah, stair guy.
No, I remember it being. She was a wonderful friend, and we were kids. You know, we were kids, but I remember it being very exciting and special.
And did you have a relationship after that?
Yeah, we were boyfriend and girlfriend. She was my first love. She's in the book.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I didn't get to that one.
Yeah.
You're like,
you were skimming.
It's on chapter 4.
Yeah. No, we had a lovely relationship, and I talk about that in the book.
Does aging scare you?
No.
I feel like
I think maybe you know what? Maybe the next bit. But up until
the 70s
now, the 70s and 80s.
Because 60s are pretty good. You can still go travel to Cambodia and still like run around and feel good. But like once you get to 70, it's like you might need some crushes and replacement.
I think south of France is a better option. Cambodia.
I like him.
Cambodia sounds nice.
I was thinking like when you're older, going to those types of places is more of a thing because south of France is easy for someone know who's getting older. I would say, or like certain places, but like the South America would be harder as you get older, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And my dad is 74, just had a knee operation last week, and I see him, and everyone in the hospital on his floor are older. And it scares me a bit.
Yes, yeah. And I'm at that age now where my friends are one just had a shoulder replacement last week and a hip replacement coming in. That's happening in my circle now. Yeah. We've had a couple of heart attacks, a couple of deaths in the circle of friends. So these are things that I really have to kind of consider now. But for the time being, I'm okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
But yeah, like it's funny to think that, in writing the book, I'm going, it was just yesterday. I was this silly little, giggly little, freckly-faced, buck-toothed kid on Bondi. And now I'm the old man in the media. It's a weird concept.
And don't you feel like the days are long, but the years are short? You know, like, how did it go so fast?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't realize it goes so fast until you arrive at the place and you're like, oh, holy shit. Because when you're younger, it's like the days go on forever.
Yeah.
And those long summer days. I don't even feel like there's a long summer day anymore. It just feels like you get
to
the
you're
beach.
Busy, right?
Get to the beach and you're out and you're just like, oh my God, I have to make dinner for the kids.
Have sex with my husband.
Really quick in the ad break.
Commercial break.
I forgot that you could pause it. No, I was not saying that it was because you couldn't pause it. It was just like
I want to have a beer with your husband. I mean, this is fun talking shit to you, but I want to have a beer with your husband.
He's so great. He's so funny. He's so self-deprecating. And look, we have a banter that we get it, so he's not offended in any way. He's the love of my life, and honestly, I couldn't do this life without him.
Right.
He's better than I ever will be.
Do you have stairs in your house?
Yes, we do.
Just asking.
Why?
Just asking.
Why?
No, I'm just asking.
Oh, because of this. Nowadays, I'm like, I don't want to have sex in the car or the stairs. There's a fucking bed upstairs. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got a sore hip. I've got a sore back. Like, my knee's a little fucked up.
Well, you are quite the catch.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to lay there and go, yay.
Yay.
Yay. Listen, I tell you,
What's his name?
Sean.
Sean. I've met Sean, actually.
He's so great.
He came in on the show one time.
He's so great. But if he said, let's have sex on the stairs, I'd be like, I'm too old for this shit.
But that's where you got to say yes.
Gotta say
That's the thing.
No, he would never. He would never say that. He'd be like, the bed's more comfortable.
Why don't you say it?
You know, you don't know the positions I'm flipping into. I can't do that shit on the stairs, Larry.
I'm not Cirque du Soleil on the stairs.
I'm like Cirque du Soleil. I can't do that in the laundry room. Like, there's not enough space.
You need to do that. Imagine the podcast content you would come up with. Like,
I know.
Let me tell you how I got this splinter in my forehead.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me tell you. Yeah.
Let me tell you. I do. I have, before we let you go, I'm going to ask you a few questions, but I did once had a story about we got kicked out of a hotel because, again, before kids, we were wild. But what is your biggest shit show moment before we leave? I want to know your biggest, and it can be beautiful, like something that was like hard for you, like beautiful and hard, or like this was a really fucked up shit show.
I reckon it was one of my first appearances. It was the first time I'd read the news as a very young reporter. I was given the news overnight shift.
Yeah.
Right, and it was from midnight till 6 a.m. on the hour, every hour. And it was the first one, and we were coming on after Bryant Gumbel in the American Today show. Yeah. And something had happened to the satellite and I had to run across the studio floor. The director's calling, we're on. I'm like, we're not on. It's 5 to, we're not on yet. Yeah. You go, no, there's a satellite issue. So it came up and the camera took the shot of the news desk, but I was still running. And the credits were, the opening thing was news overnight, only on 7.
And you're like.
And I jumped and it was an empty news set. And I ran and I jumped onto the chair, but the chair had wheels. So the first thing that happened, 7's news overnight, and me, a little kid landing in the chair going, shit, as I rolled off the set. If you're going to do a shit show, it was live.
It was live.
Live.
Did you get fired?
No, I was back there. No, because no one wanted to do the overnight shift, so I had that one locked down.
So that's the one that you didn't get fired.
All
the other ones are good.
Yeah.
Well, Larry, and then lastly, before you go, because I'm like live in Australian American, I've lost a little bit of my Aussie slang. Yeah. I need you to come up with 2 of your favorite Aussie slang words. Right. And it would be great if they were like newer words.
Well, I'm 60 years old.
Yeah, I mean, like what do you...
Newer for me is like Zimmer frame.
Yeah, exactly. So it's 2 slang Aussie words. Can't be like bogan because everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that. Okay, what I want to hear you say wanker, but I want to hear you say really like properly.
What's properly?
Well, no, because you're saying wanker like that.
Wanker?
No, that's not it.
Don't be such a wanker, mate.
That's it. See, you still got it. You still got it.
Totally got it. I can totally like.
What other words are you struggling with? Let me hit you with something that you're struggling with.
I can do an Aussie accent. I mean, I can do any Aussie accent. I can like.
How long are you in America for before you can actually talk like an American?
No, I was paid to lose it.
Paid to lose the Australian accent?
Yes, I was on a TV show. They were going to fire me.
Right, now you've kept it.
Well, then I just couldn't get out of it after 3 years. Like
you're right.
You know, like we can talk.
Yeah, we can talk shit.
We can talk shit all the time, mate.
We can talk about balls and shit.
We can talk about balls and shit and dicks and wankers. You know, it's right there. It's like totally there.
Oh, we finished how we started?
Yeah. So you didn't give me any word. You gave me a wanker.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I mean,
do you know what the word cheddar?
Cheddar.
That's like really good.
What is that?
Amy Shark just said, what did she say?
Maddie J had cheddar.
Maddie J had cheddar, and then Amy Shark had what?
Mutt crab, wasn't it?
Mutt balls? Like, don't be such a mutt face or something. Mutt balls? That's an Aussie.
Munt is a good word.
What is munt?
Munted.
That sounds like a very close word.
Munted. It's like when you get really, really drunk.
Munted.
Football players would say it.
Oh my God, I dated a football player and they went on Mad Monday.
Right.
Which is really just me being mad on the Monday.
Yeah, that's right. It's you being crazy again.
I was so fucking pissed off that they were so drunk. I was just so mad about it. Munted. Okay.
Munted.
Do you get munted a lot?
I don't know. I don't.
I don't either.
I've just invented my own whiskey. I'm really excited about
that. You invented it?
So, yeah, well, I didn't invent whiskey.
Pretty sure whiskey's been around.
It's been invented.
Larry. How could you invent your own
whiskey?
Well,
I made
you patent it?
I've made my own whiskey for my There's
a difference between I made my own whiskey and I invented my own whiskey.
Well, I didn't invent whiskey.
A little bit of gaslighting.
So that was my last thing on my bucket list before I turned 60, so I'm busy doing that. But no, I don't get munted.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
It's just, I don't either. I gave up alcohol a year ago.
Did you? Completely?
Yeah.
So I won't send you my whiskey to get munted?
No, send it to me. I don't have a problem with it. People think like I'm this, like alcoholic. But no, I don't have a problem with it. I just realized that it's stole tomorrow from today.
That's what same.
And I just don't have it in me. Like, I just can't wake up and just all of a sudden it's like my kids are yelling and then I'm just like, shut up, stay in your room. Like, I just, because I'm hungover and then my husband, you know.
Sex.
Although sex is great hungover.
Right.
So great.
See, sex drunk on the stairs while the kids are asleep and there's a commercial break on. This is going to be your Thursday.
And we're done. And it's the end of the show. Thank you, Larry, so much for coming.
It's so good to talk to you.
Please come back. I want to come on your show. You're like, no, it's not going to happen.
Come on the show. Just don't say all those things that you said on this.
Okay.
Lovely to see you.
Larry. Bye.